Shalom. I see I got a problem here. I need to be up and down, you know? We're going to get into it with JT, man. Before I get started, I give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakadash. And we're in the beginning of Jacob's trouble. You know, as you can see, the troops in D.C., L.A., you know, it's a soft martial law going on. And it's using you so-called Negroes and Latinos and Native Americans, man. That's the prime target, you know? The spirit been telling you idiots since last year, you know, that when they letting y'all asses out of jail, you just fall into the bigger trap, man. And now as you see, the trap been set. And it's all gonna stay in the spirit though. I can't put that in the back seat. So yeah, the trap has been set. And as you see in DC, you so-called Negroes are getting y'all asses, arrested, man. You fell right into the trap, man. Why you think these people are letting y'all asses out of jail, man? But, you get a slap on the wrist. You got set up. But no, nobody tell you knuckle-headed Israelites nothing, man. So-called Negro Latinos or Native Americans can't tell you a damn thing, man. But you're gonna find out the hard way. You're getting ready to find out the hard way, because this is just a precursor to what's to come, man. Right now the troops just getting their training on the streets. The next time gonna be with live ammunition, though, man. They just getting that training in real quick, man. So when they come round y'all asses up, it's gonna be go time, man. Now let's get into the scriptures. I gotta order one of them ASAP. Telling y'all that this was gonna happen, man. That the Lord got a certain day for you guys, man. And that's Jacob's trouble. And like I said, we're in the beginning stages of it. Let's go to Daniel 12 and 1. It's Daniel 12 and 1. And at that time, Michael shall stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, the Israelites, and there shall be a time of trouble, Jacob's trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. So yeah, only elect is going to get delivered. But the rest of y'all are going to be stuck here in Babylon. To taste the thermonuclear ICBM missiles. There's a lot going on here. You got the Guard, DHS, FBI, CIA, and whoever else in Washington activated. Setting the tone, man. The troops No longer the red coats are coming. you know, the fucking troops on the streets, man. The detention centers, the FEMA camps set up, Alligator Alcatraz. Then they're getting ready to open some other shit, Indiana something. I think that's right. Then they talking about some other place called Shark something. So they getting you used to the idea of FEMA camps and being put in detention centers. And as usual, you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans are going first. You know, you the ones going first. You know, but little do you know, everybody's going to the camp. You know, everybody's gonna get put in these FEMA camps, detention centers. But it's easier for so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans to go first. Like, oh yeah, we fighting crime. Yeah, yeah. But what you gonna do when the troops pull up to your house and you a law-abiding citizen, man? They talking about come with us, and it ain't gonna be a choice, man. But that's for you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans who are the true biblical Israelites. This is just a what they call it, just an appetizer. I was watching a video this morning of this clip where they was in the projects, pulling up on Jake, so-called Negroes, chasing them down. Boy, we've been telling y'all ass, man, this shit coming. You know? And I was just saying this a couple days ago. I was like, man, I be having the Lord fucking turn up on Jake, man. Tired of these 2/3, these YNs. You know? Tired of YNs, man. I'm glad the Lord's getting ready to put you niggas to death, man. It brought me nothing but a smile to my face, man. Like I'm saying, we just seeing this just the hands-on training right now. But these troops in the streets, they're gonna go live, man. And they're gonna lock down all these cities. And everybody gonna be a target, man. Everybody. You're gonna be a enemy or out to the US government. Because hey, believe it or not, man, the dollar's getting ready to crash. So they gotta bring in a new currency, a digital currency. They got the stable coins on deck. So they just gotta get rid of the dollar. And everybody cheering, oh yeah. Arrest them so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Yeah, throw their asses in jail. But lo and behold, man, them guns gonna be pointing at you too, man. They're gonna be pointing at you next. And I'm talking about you so-called white people, so-called Asian people, so-called Arabs. All y'all gonna be in them camps too, man. But they beat up on the poor, the Israelites. Because we really got no laws here, man. So we easy targets. You know? And pretty much everybody hate us anyway, so it's easy to beat up on us. We really got no representation up there in Washington. Like the scriptures say, our Gates language, man. We got no help. Down here. Our help come from the Most High. And, like I said, man, everybody hates the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. Man. So we get to go first, man. So yeah, in Daniel 12:1 and 12:1, man, I'm reading about it's gonna be a time like none other, man. Matter of fact, let's get back into that again. This is Daniel 12:1. It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to the same. So there's coming a time on you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans. It's like no other documented, crisis, war, or anything, man, compared to this day, man. Nothing like World War One and World War Two, man. Civil War, race riots, when you was getting your asses hung and lynched, crosses burning your yard, slavery. It's gonna be a cakewalk compared to what's coming, man. You gonna wish you had some German shepherds on your ass, man, when this day comes. And if you turn it, your TV channel or YouTube, whatever you look at, and you click on DC, you can get a nice glimpse of what's to come, man. But it's gonna be on 1,000 though. you know, it ain't gonna be no getting your ass arrested. They're gonna shoot you on and kill you on spot, man. It ain't gonna be no, oh, you got a right to an attorney, or let me call my mama to get me out of jail. No, if you're a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American, you're gonna get killed on the spot, man. You know, judge, jury, and execution. Uh-oh, Satan waking. But let's go on. So it's Jeremiah 30:7. Oh no, let's get verse 5. But thus says Yahweh, we had heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Verse 6, as ye now, ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. So have you ever seen a man pregnant with a child, man? That's what this is asking. Question mark. Have you seen a man pregnant before? Going into labor. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins? So yeah, every man with his hands on his loins, man, you're gonna have your hands on your dick and your balls, man, screaming like a bitch, man, when this day comes. I don't give a damn if you a fucking UFC fucking championship for the past 10 years, man, straight. You're gonna be covering your balls and screaming like a bitch, man. Holler, like you in labor. It says, as a woman in travail, so yeah, like a woman in labor, and all faces are turned into paleness because it's gonna be a sickness, something ever happened, or you seen something that made your whole countenance change. That's what this day is gonna bring forth, man. You're gonna turn pale, man. Just paralyzing fear, you know? And you're gonna go into shock, man. And you're gonna just see troops marching up the street, man. Fully auto, man. Mag dumps in the middle of the street, man. Just mag dumping your hood, man. Tanks in the street. airstrikes, man, military checkpoints, roadblocks. And who the main people they're gonna be looking for is you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. There's gonna be an order out to kill your ass first. You know? They're not going to hear that shit talking about you a sovereign citizen. You know, you gonna pull out your little constitution book, this and that, and they're gonna put, you know, 30, 40 holes in you, man. You know, who knows how much ammo they got stocked up now. This was what, 10 years ago at least, where they had like a billion rounds of ammo stockpile. Who knows how much they got stocked up now to this day, man. And they ain't gonna run out of bullets either, man. Because this day is gonna come from the Lord, man, to kill you Israelites with 2/3, one good last time, man. You know, he got a beautiful day planned for y'all, man. If you don't want to follow the law, statute, commandments, or turn back to your power, you want to hang on to Babylon, then the Lord just gonna send you to the spirit world, man. He's gonna lay you even with the ground. He's gonna, what they say, have you pushing up daisies, man. You know, and that ain't all of it either. It gets worse. That's the crazy part about it. We talking about a day like none other on recorded history. It's gonna be worse than all that shit you ever read about. And then it just gets worse from them. The famine. A lot of y'all gonna be, you know, have your stuff taken, man. And I'm talking about your butt, man. You gonna have men and women out here getting sexual assaulted. Let's put it like that. Men and women. You know, cannibalism. A lot of y'all gonna be on somebody dining room table, man. And they're gonna be sitting there cutting and carving you up like a damn pig, man, on Thanksgiving. You know, scripture we got how some of y'all gonna be killed by the wild beast. You know, there's a lady some years ago, she got killed by a pack of wild chihuahuas or something. It was like 20 of them, you know? I was like, oh, the Lord had 20 something chihuahuas fucking killed this lady. It's like 5, 10 years ago, something like that. So just imagine in that day, you got all these dogs out here just roaming the streets, haven't eaten in days, man. And you gonna walk by looking like a nice meal, man. You don't think they gonna clamp down on your ass? You know, there's plenty of pit bulls in the streets of New Orleans too, man. It's like pit bull city, man. You know, you gonna be weak, ain't ate in days, barely had enough water. How you gonna fight off a hungry dog, man? You ain't gonna be able to do it. You can't do it now, and you done had a damn 2, 3 meals today. I know you can't handle a pit bull, and your ass ain't eating in 5, 6 days. You know, you can be fighting, wailing, trying to get that dog off your ass. Next thing you know, another one gonna come jump and bite down on your damn neck, man. And that's the end of Keisha. You know that's the end of Pookie. And that's gonna be happening all over the country. Coming to a town near you. You know, little Pedro, man, can't run. You know, he ain't gonna make it. When this hell breaking loose, the first to go is the elderly, the sick, you know, the kids on the first wave, you know. I'm talking about small kids, man. Ones that can't really do nothing for themselves. That's the first wave. Second wave, you know, you start getting to that survival of the fittest, man. You're gonna have to start battling out, you know. But the sick and the elderly, the first to go. And then, you know, it's fucking you know, you on your own after that. You know, it's fight to the death. You know, I mean, what you gonna do when the bullets run out? You know, you gonna have to get your knife game together. But then, let's say you got an impeccable knife game, right? Good with the blade, you know, a little jiu-jitsu or something like that. How you gonna fight off 15, 20 hungry people, man? You can't get all of them. How you gonna fight that? You know, but the Lord got it all figured out for you, Jake. You might be able to get one or two, possibly even three, but eventually you're gonna end up in somebody's pot, man, on somebody's grill. You're gonna be on a rotisserie, man, and they're gonna rotisserize your ass, man. That's the type of days that's coming. Or you got this lunatic down here yelling. What you gonna do with that, man? How you gonna get him off your ass? You know? Hey, better you than me, man. Better you than me. You know, so hey, man, that's why I'm out here doing this. You know, because he said, hey, we're gonna get into it. It's gonna say it. You know, you ain't gonna better pick up the phone and dial 911. Yeah, the cops gonna be out here in gangs, man. Vigilante gangs, robbing and taking and killing, man. It's gonna be survival of the fittest out here. Every man and woman for themselves. Verse 7, at last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So yeah, he's talking about the elect is gonna be saved out of this. But the rest, the 2/3, it's gonna be open season on y'all, man. The Lord's gonna have his way with you, man. He's gonna turn you over to the true chainsaw master, man. True Texas chainsaw master out here in these streets. You know? A lot of y'all gonna end up in these dungeons, man. Tortured. you know, getting eaten alive. Like I was watching Escape from LA a couple of days ago. No, it was last week. I was watching it last week. You know, and it's gonna be on some shit like that. But look, you know, you're gonna have people setting you up on every corner, man. Every time you look around, you ain't gonna know who to trust. You know, so why you think Hollywood and all these people have been priming you up with all these zombie movies, you know, all these apocalyptic movies? They letting you know that this is coming, man. And what they do, the elite and the elite of Hollywood, we're gonna leave it like that. You know, they put this subliminal messaging in these movies, man. You know, it's kind of a spell. I wouldn't say a spell, but it's some kind of ritual, man. They got to tell you what they're gonna do to you before they do it. You know, I don't know if it's black magic or I forget what it is, man, but it's some type of magic ritual, man. They got to tell you what they're gonna do to you and show you and tell you. If you get it, you get it. You don't, you don't. But they put it out there for somebody to get it. So why they were so hell bent on zombies, all these apocalyptic movies, that they know some, most of y'all don't. How you think Zuckerberg and all these billionaires are getting all these bunkers, man? Just because they want to hang out in an underground bunker because they got nothing else to do, you know? Or they moving out of the country. It's a big community down there in New Zealand, man, of a lot of wealthy people that moved out of the country, man, getting these bunkers set up. Because they know when all hell start breaking loose, the economy crash, they going to go in them bunkers, man, and think they going to ride it out. While everybody else on the surface fighting to the death, man. You know, you're going to be out here in these streets, man, fighting over the last pack of ramen noodles, fighting over some damn chicken bones, man, so you can make you a broth that night with a cigarette lighter and a tin can, man. That's how bad it's gonna get. Trucks gonna stop running, water gonna get cut off, and the elite just gonna sit back and just watch it all take place, man, and and let you starve out, man, until you tap out. And of course, they got the solution for you, you know. But first, they gotta let you suffer, man, so you can beg for the solution. You know. Let's go on. Let's go to second address. So yeah, like I'm saying, DC is just an appetizer of what's to come, man. That's gonna be in every city, every town in the U.S., man. This whole country's gonna get locked down. See, people like that, they gonna easily just mow them down in the street, just just a mag dump, and then they just gonna drive over them with the Humvee, man. You know, you think they're gonna try to reason with somebody like that? Hell, no. It's gonna be like, oh, we can't reason with that. Click, click. You know. So let's go on. That man played with demons, man. You can hear him. You know, he got a rage, a demon rage going on down there. This is second Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. So the modern day sword is the gun. You're gonna be shooting it out with your neighbors, man. Or the people down the street you used to wave to all the time. Y'all gonna become mortal enemies in that day, man. You know? So they gonna know, oh, we all used to see, them going in the house with all those bags of groceries, you know. They always having cookouts, parties. So we know they got food over there. So what they gonna do? They gonna load up, or hell, they might even have an actual sword, and they gonna come take your shit, man. Take you, take your wife. Yeah, if you got a dog, they gonna cook the dog, man. Now, that's a spirit right on time. Ain't know a dog was walking out, you know? How you gonna stop a mob of 50, 60 people, man? That ain't 8 days. How you gonna appease the wrath of a hungry mob outside your front door, man? What you gonna offer them? Gonna offer them some of your stuff? Then what you gonna eat? You know, you only got 3 bottled waters left. Hmm? Or you got about 6, 7 cans of sardines left. You know, maybe a can of tuna or two. You know, you might have to bug out with that. So what you gonna do? You gonna shoot it out with 20, 30 people? Or you just gonna get your stuff over, man. And once you give up your rations, they're just gonna put you to death, man. There's no need for you no more. 'Cause they know you might turn on them down the road. So they just gonna put you out of your misery and put you on the campfire tonight. So this is what's coming. There's gonna be a lot of decision making in that day. Do you keep your dog? Do you eat your dog, man? Hell, do you keep your kid or do you eat your kid? This gonna bring the worst out of you. You're gonna be doing shit you never thought you would ever do in your life, man. When the lights go out, the water goes off, stores are empty. You know, when the stores are empty, you're gonna be thinking about yourself, man. You know, you're gonna be up at night dreaming about food. If you can get some sleep. You know, you're gonna be talking to somebody and they're just gonna turn into a damn drumstick, man. You know, like on the cartoons, Tom and Jerry, you know, depends on how old you are. But, you know, Tom would see Jerry walking around looking like a little Cornish hen or something. And that's how you gonna be looking at people, man. Let's go on. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. Princes. Yeah, you're not gonna regard your mayors, your senators in this day, man. There's gonna be sedition among men. There's gonna be no government, man. It's gonna be martial law in the streets, and all your rights are gonna disappear, man. Everything is gonna be owned. I wouldn't even call it the U.S. government. It's gonna be owned by the bankers, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. They're gonna tell you, oh, it's COG and the United States, blah 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 blah, that and all that. But really, the Rothschilds run this place, man. Federal Reserve. You're gonna be property of the bankers, man. And they're gonna tell you through this martial law when it's declared that you got no right. Everything you own belongs to them, man, including you. It says, in the course of their actions shall stand. I can't see it. It says, in the course of their actions shall stand in their power, meaning these vigilantes, these these men, these militias, they're gonna take power in their own hands, man. They ain't gonna no longer rely on, a mayor or a senator, because they gonna know they've been duped, man. They've been lied to, you know. Like, oh, y'all been telling us crime is down, the economy is great, you know, we winning, and then they just gonna say, you know what, we not going that whole democracy shit no more, man. And they just gonna blow their brains up. It says they gonna stand in their power. I mean, they gonna choose who lives and who dies that day, man. They're gonna come round up these politicians looking for answers. It's gonna be mob rule out here in these streets, man. Verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So you're gonna desire to leave out of New Orleans, but you ain't gonna be able to leave, man. Or Chicago, or you know, fucking Destin or something, Atlanta, any little city in it, or any little bit of town, man. You're not gonna be able to leave it. The city's gonna be locked down, airtight, man. You know, the military, UN troops, NATO troops, mercenaries are gonna lock these cities down. They're gonna block all the ways out of here, man. And if you think you're gonna leave, you got another thing coming, man. They gonna get on them loudspeakers, put them spotlights on your ass, and tell you turn around, man. And if you don't turn around, you know, matter of fact, in that day, it ain't gonna be none of that shit. You just gonna get shot, man. I'm thinking about the old. It's gonna be something different, man. When martial law declared, They're gonna see you coming up to the checkpoint, and they just gonna open fire, man. You're just gonna be mowed down, and then once the threat, has been taken care of, they just gonna go out there, drag your body, you know, put you in a pile or something, man. Put you in a mass grave, So you can go up there talking about, oh, I'm a U.S. citizen. That ain't gonna matter in that day, man. It's gonna be you against the troops, man. And believe me, the U.S. military will follow orders. You know, they talking about they keep an oath talking about foreign and domestic, and all that. No, they gonna follow orders. When they say light their asses up, they gonna light you up, man. When they say, when them airstrikes come, they, you know, they gonna say, hey, man, do an airstrike on this side of the city. There's a problem area over here. Send a couple fighters over there, man. They already been training in these cities for years, man. They have the helicopters buzzing the rooftops. All these jet fighters, flying real low, man. Get you acclimated to what's coming. You know, if you like, oh, the helicopter's flying real low today, or those jet fighters flying real low. Yeah, they know what they're doing, man. They getting you used to that, you know. Getting you used to F-16s flying over your house, man. But this time they're gonna be loaded, man, armed. Your whole hood gonna get carpet bombed, man. You just gonna look in the air and you're gonna see a B-52, man. And next thing you know, you're gonna see them doors, and they just gonna empty their whole payload, man. Just carpet bombing your whole hood, man. Every outlawed ordinance, they talk about, oh, because of Geneva Convention, whatever kind of ordinance they claim that is illegal and that you can't use, they're gonna use it on you, man. And oh yeah, don't forget they're gonna have the robots in the streets too, man. They say what they showing you on TV is just the BS they showing you, man. There's a guy, a lot of people know him. Alex Jones. He said he been into a facility and he seen the robots that look like the real Terminator robots, man, with the exoskeleton and the teeth and all, man. And what they showing you the bullshit, man. They gonna break out the real shit in the streets in them days, man. The little robo dog with the turret on top of it. Or some sentries on them. That's what they gonna have in these streets, man. That's gonna be the great roundup. Shoot them up, round them up, shoot them up, man. Well, man, we're gonna get into it a little bit. Let me finish this up. Verse 19: A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. Modern day sword is the gun, and spoil their goods because the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So yeah, you ain't gonna have no pity on your neighbor, man. You're gonna be sitting there thinking, man, I know this motherfucker got some bread in that house, man. I know they got some damn beanies and weenies or something in there. And you just gonna go in there, and put your best neighbor to death, man. Or your neighbor gonna come begging, looking for a handout, and you gonna slam the door in their face, man. Or might even come to the door. Hey, I ain't making this up, man. The scripture says you ain't gonna have no pity on your neighbor because the lack of bread. Man. It says, and you gonna spoil their goods too. You gonna go in that house and get them nice loafers that you seen your neighbor wearing a month ago, man. Or he got some nice hiking boots in there that you gonna need. So you gonna go to the garage, get that axe. But in the middle of the night, you just gonna stand over your neighbor, man, and put that axe in their face. I need them boots, you know. Oh, I need that last couple cans of tuna you got in there. You gonna think about your belly in that day, man. And whoever stand in the way of you eating, you gonna put them down, man. That's what's coming, man. Let's jump down. Let's go to 16. Second Ezra 16 and verse 7. It says, "For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Most High." Oh yeah, might I add, when it said about the sedition of men, it's talking about people talking ill of the government, man. People like myself. You're gonna be if you got any kind of ill will towards the government, man, you a damn target. And believe me, you already know the videos you watch, what websites you visit. They steadily building a database, man. They know how long you spend on these websites. How many videos you watch a day, how many minutes, how long you watch. And if you got anything to say about the government, man, your ass is in trouble. Like I said, your ass is grass. Verse 70, it says, "For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Most High." So you actually fear the Most High, man. The Israelites, even though Jake's wicked as hell, you still got some kind of fear of the Lord, man. Because this is aimed at you. The Lord has a special. Hey, how y'all doing now? Now the Lord has a special time set aside just for the 2/3, man. A special occasion, if you will. Verse 71, they shall be like madmen, sparing none. So they're gonna be like madmen, sparing none. They're gonna see you, and it's gonna be up there, man. You ain't gonna be able to sweet talk your way out of this. You know, these troops they gonna get on them drugs. They gonna get them drugs in that system. You know, and they gonna be just possessed, man, like madmen, killing everything moving. I'm talking about man, woman, and child, man. They're not gonna discriminate in that day. Like, oh, it's just a baby. They're gonna say, oh, clack, 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 clack. You know, it was just a baby. You know how Jake get, oh, that's my mama. And they gonna say, we don't give a fuck about none of that, man. Oh, you can't do that to grandmama. They gonna kill grandmama too, man. Scripture say it's gonna be like madmen, sparing none of y'all, man. Says, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Most High. So they're gonna be out to destroy you. You're gonna be destroyed out here. If you think you can go hide under the bed, they're gonna come pull your ass out from under that bed, man. Pull your ass out from under them clothes in the closet. You know how they was going door to door after the Hurricane Katrina? You know, going through clearing the houses. They're gonna do the same thing, man. You already got the training for it, and they're gonna clear. They're gonna go from house to house, looking for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. They're gonna pull you out of your damn house and execute your ass right in the front yard, man. And then next, is you other people, man, the other nations, all you Christian Bible thumpers, they gonna kill you too. You talking about you a red-blooded American? They gonna say, well, you gonna be a cold-blooded American here in a couple seconds, you know? You know these troops are coming to set order straight for the bankers, for the New World Order. You know, they're gonna get Tyrone and Pedro and them first, and Littlefoot, but they coming for Becky, Darren, Muhammad, Tran. They coming for everybody, man. And you tell my oh, I'm a God-fearing Christian. They gonna be like, good, stand in this line right here. You know, and they're gonna present that chip to you, man. They're gonna say, hey, man, you gonna take this mark of the beast or you ain't? Which one is it? You say no, then your head gonna roll, man. Your head's gonna roll like a pumpkin that fell off a cart, man, during harvest season. You know, that shit just gonna roll down this wherever it's gonna roll to, man, like a soccer ball. Verse 72: For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. So everybody's gonna be homeless soon, man. Nobody's gonna have a house to stay in real soon. So looking at these homeless people, you might want to get some take some pointers, man, on how they surviving out here. Cause you gonna need them in that day, man. You might want to come hang out with them for a weekend, man, and see how they able to deal with the elements, how they gather their food. It's gonna get even worse for them, man, because nobody gonna be able to panhandle, man. But they're gonna do a bit better, man, than the average Joe Blow or average, everyday knucklehead American, man. They got a bit of survival skill, man. But as the rest of you done fucked up. You 2/3 of the nation of Israel, man. You done fucked up, man. You done pissed the Lord off, man. And this gonna be his last time to get his hands on you one good last time, man. He's gonna get his hands on y'all one good last time, and he gonna unleash all hell on you, man. Oh yeah, somebody coming in hot. I don't know what that was, but it's hot. You know, who knows this time of night? Can't really see. It might have been a man. Verse 73. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold and fire. So you're gonna know who the Lord's chosen are in this day. That's why. So they're gonna count on the Lord. They're gonna depend on you. How about Shemal to get them out of this and pull them through, man, and stand on His word. It says, hey, man, not losing patience, not losing faith. You know, that's what's gonna get the chosen out of this ordeal, man. And was it Second Esdras 9, I believe, where it says how you gonna be able to escape these said perils, man, is by your works, man, and your faith. So hey, I'm out here putting in the work. You know, all I gotta do, man, is keep the faith. When all hell breaking loose, the Lord says, I'm gonna eat, man. He said, I'm gonna drink, and you gotta believe that, man. Hey, it said, roughly paraphrasing, his servant shall eat. Hey, you've been right about everything else, man. Everything else you been came through on. So why would it stop then? So I'm gonna go ahead and close it out with that, man. But they got that damn supposedly West Nile virus going on. You know, and mosquitoes start swarming here in a minute. Plus, it's getting late too. The freaks come out at night when it get dark. So it's time to start making some moves. Getting the hell out of here, man. I'm gonna give it a couple minutes here, There we go. Before I get out of here, man, I'm gonna give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kabadash.
Just can. It's like
Shalom.
$11. I'm gonna go grab my sister.